Hello everybody. So we need to talk. We need to talk about Crufts. And we need to talk about that German Shepherd and it's back. I was there at Crufts this weekend and actually I became aware of a problem with the shepherds well before the dog went into the show ring. I started to see them walking around the arena and noticed that there were more slopey backs than I had seen in quite a while. I was really surprised. I thought it had completely gone out of fashion in the breed. What has actually happened is it's gone out of fashion in the real world because people have realised what sort of problems these dogs have. But it's obviously still really fashionable in the show ring, which just goes to show just how far removed the show ring is from real life. Yes, that dog is an unhealthy dog. That dog is going to have problems with its spine and with its hips. That dog, one day, is probably going to be put to sleep because she can't walk anymore. And people who are really into showing really struggle. They struggle to see the difference between a dog that's healthy, so a dog that is eating, happy to see its owner, able to go out for wobbly walks, and a dog that is suffering because it's of its conformation. It's amazing what dogs will cope with and will power on through. Take the pugs, for example. They can barely breathe, but they're happy little chappies. They don't do themselves any favours by being so cheery, but they are happy dogs who eat and who are pleased to see their people and who go out for walks and who are cheerful and bounce about. It doesn't mean that they are healthy. And that is the difference. The breeders can't see the difference between the conformation of a dog making its life difficult and ultimately causing it health issues and the dog as it is now. So yeah, that German Shepherd might be healthy by some definitions, but she certainly won't be in the future, and neither will any of her progeny be. The other issue, I think, that came up, especially on the Channel 4 programme at Crufts, where they tackled the issue of the German Shepherd, was Caroline Cisco, who runs the Kennel Club, the Kennel Club vet, some lady there who obviously knew about showing, and Claire Balding were all absolutely horrified about the German Shepherd. And oh, how could it have been in the ring? And it's definitely not to do with the show standards, and the breed standards have changed to rule this sort of thing out. And yet the judge picked that dog, and that dog won Best of Breed, has now got a rosette, and it went into the ring in the pastoral final. So I think this situation also shows how toothless the Kennel Club can be. They can change the breed standards till they're blue in the face, but clearly if you've got a judge who fancies a German Shepherd with a sloping back, they're going to pick that dog, whatever is said. But what I would like to see the Kennel Club do is maybe take every dog that wins the Best of Breed and puts it past an independent panel or someone who can compare that dog to the breed standard, and if that dog doesn't match up to the breed standard, then take the prize away from it. I don't know, award it to the second one, or redo the whole breed, or just take that entire breed out of that final and say to those breeders, you cannot come in. You cannot take your dog, your breed cannot be represented any further than it is now. That'd soon kick them into touch. And I think that's the issue here, because breeders are so obsessed about their dog. And it doesn't mean they don't love them. I'm sure they do. It doesn't mean that they don't care about their dogs. I'm sure they do. But they're just so blinkered as to what is the ideal. And dogs are so good at coping with the things that we throw at them and the conformation that they have, that they can't see beyond that. And they can't see how well it could be improved by simply, letting them have flat backs or slightly larger noses. The other point that hasn't been touched on by very many people is just how small the Kennel Club world is, and the showing world in particular. We need to be putting pressure on the Kennel Club, on the breeders, on the judges and on the showing ring, absolutely, to improve the health of the animals there. But the Kennel Club registered breeders produce a tiny proportion of all the puppies that are produced in this country and abroad every year. And those people are producing puppies with no regulation, with no controls, and no care either for the pups and the dogs that they produce. So as well as bringing pressure to bear on the Kennel Club and the showing world, we have to bring pressure to bear in a wider society. At least once a year, the public's attention gets turned onto dogs and how they're put together and their conformation, because it educates everybody as to what to look for in an ideal dog. And hopefully if breeds change and attitudes change, there'll be a trickle down into the more unregulated world of dog breeding. But it's important to remember that we can get all cross and get our knickers in a real knot about the Kennel Club, but it's such a tiny world when it comes to breeding dogs. So I just needed to get that off my chest. Yes, that dog was awful. Yes, I simply cannot understand why the breeders and advocates of that shape can't see that. And I think that there's just this huge problem and disconnect they have between the ideal and the healthy. But I think we need to look at the wider picture here. It's not just about the Kennel Club, it's not just about the German Shepherds, it's not just about those breeders really focused in on the issues. It's about the wider world of dogs and dog breeding and conformation and breeds. And we need to be spreading that message far and wide. Go to a good breeder, find a healthy dog, get some opinions on a dog or a breed that you want, and really do your research before you buy a puppy. Or go to a rescue and get one that you can see as an adult, and then you know if it's going to have any issues or not. Okay, that's it for today. Thanks everybody. Bye bye.